These are the top 20 best films of 2024 in my opinion. I have seen a total of 140 new films last year. Remember, this is my opinion and yours is probably going to be different. If you want more in-depth review of why I like these films, then you can check out my letterbox. Number 20 is Ultraman Rising. Netflix decided to drop this great animated movie on us last year. With some beautiful animation, great characters, a heartwarming story, and some good action. Number 19 is A Quiet Place Day 1. I honestly didn't think that we needed this movie at first until I watched it and I thoroughly enjoyed it. The action and insanity of the creatures was great, especially with it being day one of the invasion. At its core, it's a deeper story about lost love and acceptance. This will definitely pull on some heartstrings. Number 18 is Kraven the Hunter. Hate all you want on the Sonyverse, but this was a fun film. With it being rated R, it was brutal and violent. I like the new addition to the powers we got. We got tons of characters and the action was great. It was just a fun time. Number 17 is Twilight of the Warriors Walled In. This movie definitely needs a lot more love. It's gritty with a good story and with some of the most exciting action and fight scenes I've seen all year. On top of having some characters that you actually care about, it's definitely worth a watch. Number 16 is Red One. I don't care if this movie gets hate on, I really enjoyed it. This movie is just a ton of fun. It has great action, it's funny, amazing practical effects with an entertaining story, and it is just an all-around good Christmas movie. Number 15 is Venom: The Last Dance. The final Venom film, and listen, I'm a sucker for these movies. Once you start to understand what they were going for with this version of Venom, then you really start to enjoy these movies. This was a fun road trip movie with some good action, good laughs, and honestly some heartwarming moments. Number 14 is Land of Bad. I felt like no one watched this movie. This had me at the edge of my seat the entire time. This is a great action thriller movie with a guy behind enemy lines. It has some phenomenal action and it's very suspenseful. Number 13 is Alien Romulus, another divisive film amongst Alien fans. The cinematography alone was fantastic. It's gritty, creepy, and dark. The music definitely set the tone and the xenomorphs are gnarly mixed with the practical effects. The movie was overall really entertaining with a crazy ending. Number 12 is Heretic. This is a thinking man's movie. I really love the conversation that this movie gives you, and it really makes you think. It's suspenseful and thrilling, and even though he is pretty crazy, he makes some good points. I really enjoy this one. Number 11 is Fall Guy. Stunts, stunts, stunts. This movie is such a blast, and Ryan Gosling puts on such a fun performance. This movie is funny and has some great action to boot. You know exactly what you're getting when you go into this movie, and it was a great time. Number 10 is Smile 2. This is hands down my favorite horror movie of the year. I'm a fan of the Smile franchise and I think this was different enough, but kept what made the first one really creepy. This definitely had some thrilling scenes and some good kills, and I absolutely love the ending and I can't wait for more. Number 9 is Wicked. The Broadway musical come to life in all of its colorful glory. The movie is wonderful with some great songs, mostly the popular ones that will definitely get stuck in your head. Ariana does a hilarious job as Glinda, and Cynthia definitely has some pipes on her. I can't wait for part 2. Number 8 is Boy Kills World. This movie is right up my alley and what I love in action. It's stylized, violent, and action-packed. The story is pretty simple, but it makes up for its action moments and its hilarious narration by the guy who voices Bob's Burgers. I really don't know why this didn't get as much love as it did because I love this movie. Number 7 is Transformers 1, a fun origin story of how all of our favorites became the heroes and villains that we know and love. Obviously the animation is good, fun moments, and some good action. I like seeing their evolution of their friendship and also learning some new things about this world. Number 6 is Dee Dee. This teleported me right back to the early 2000s. No, this movie isn't just good because of the things that I have nostalgia for, but it's a good story of Chris dealing with the hardships of life when you're younger, the ups and downs of trying to fit in, and I loved it. Number 5 is My Old Ass. Part coming of age story, part quasi time travel movie. I didn't know much going into this movie, but I was pleasantly surprised. This movie is not only funny, but it has a ton of heart, with its deeper meanings of not letting time pass you by, but also spending every moment like it's your last. This will definitely pull on your heartstrings. Number 4 is Sonic 3. I love me some Sonic and this franchise is no different. I love that they focus on the main heroes a lot more in this, and Shadow showing up, every scene he was in was great. The action and humor were all top notch and that final battle scene was amazing. I definitely can't wait for the 4th one to come out. Number 3 is Rebel Moon Part 1 and 2, the director's cut. These movies get so much hate, but I honestly don't care. The director's cut both came out last year, so I'm just lumping these together because it's my list. I personally really like these films, and we don't get enough original sci-fi. This has an interesting and fun story, really unique and cool characters, and some fantastic action with amazing cinematography. I definitely can't wait for part 3. Number 2 is Dune Part 2. If this movie isn't in your top for the year, then what are you doing? As someone who actually wasn't a big fan of the first Dune, this movie blew me away. The cinematography was fantastic, the set design and costume design were all great. The acting performances were all good on top of some good action to round out this movie in a cinematic spectacle. And number 1 is Deadpool and Wolverine, to no surprise to anyone who actually knows me. This was hands down the best film of the year. As a huge fan of not only comic books, Marvel, but also the Deadpool movies, this gave me exactly what I wanted. It's bonkers, it's crazy, and hilarious. The soundtrack was on point, the action was over the top, brutal, and violent. All the characters were awesome, and the cameos were amazing. This gave me everything I wanted and more. So, what were your favorite films of the year? Let me know down below, and as always, thanks for watching.